sometimes it's the best time to do any kind of mission.
Anchoring,
if you have
yes.
anything,
Yeah.
like it's like.
Yeah, we have a couple of things to anchor.
Yeah.
From here.
Yeah, from there, from George Bootcamp thing. Yeah, it's live.
Yeah, we are live.
On the here.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Good evening, everyone. It's always a surprise for me when we are live. It's like, oh, you're live. Yeah, welcome in the space, in the room. Welcome online whenever you are watching, now or later, in the now always, but there is a time and space, obviously. Well, there's a lot of things to share, but I would like also to make it to the point somehow. And till the discussion comes, because it's still in the ether, till it comes into my brain, into the channel, I would like to share about the upcoming courses and planning always. So we have sent out the newsletter today, a new template I'm very proud of. You have the information there on the course and trainings coming up. This weekend we have 4 spots left for the intensive. The intensive is something you like to do when you are having space to strengthen and to amplify your bodies. So it's like a boot camp, like you go to the Himalayan for a week, you stay in Dubai for 8 hours, it's gonna have the same effect.
Well, this is the plan.
That's the plan.
Even if we have any chance to do it even further than Himalayan mountain, we'll do.
Yeah, so we have
Hopefully
a Himalayan
one day
garden.
We'll have like stronger vortex where you don't need to go anywhere.
Exactly. And so if you're interested to be in a full day of intensive transmission and integration and energy work, please join in. So it's going to be physical work, like building the physical channels, building the energetical channel. You're going to have a break in the middle, obviously, and then we do it one more time. So it's going to be building up your light quotient in your system for a full day. When you step out of the house, it's like you step into a new reality, literally.
Yes, and mention also that we are going to initiate the Unconditional Love project in that intensive with the Pillar of Light. And that includes bringing your crystal and anchoring with the crystal, so we can bring a vortex in your place and around this area, so we can make sacred geometry. I hope that we are in our house sacred geometry, but will create a node crystal. And in these 8 hours, we've been receiving to initiate this unconditional love, and at the beginning we received that some of the Pillar of Light will join and they will hold that frequency and that energy till later on the Unconditional Love project can be more public and more exposed to everyone. But then it's need to be first anchored.
So after that there will be some like open session, which will be donation basis to really anchor those unconditional love frequencies, so it can build up the momentum, and it will bring for the 5D manifestation and sacred geometry and so on and so forth. So it's pretty much exciting. It's what comes up, what got burst the last week. And after the intensive, the weekend after, there is Nada having her workshop on the feminine practices. Same couple of spots left if you feel like joining. The newsletter, can you put the newsletter in the comments of the video?
Can I? Yes.
Yeah, the newsletter is on the page or on your email box already for Nada's Feminine Practice series. There will be the level 1 of 5D manifestation. If you have been part of the 5D manifestation course before, it's going to be a new template. So if you've been part before, you're going to have a very special price for it. Please join. It's going to be different frequencies to anchor. It's like we've completed a cycle somehow, and this new cycle is highly elevated with much more information that we didn't fathom 6 months ago. We went through, George went through last week our videos and sessions from 2 years ago. He was astonished of the amount of work that was being done, the amount of frequency was there, but not embodied yet.
So I was listening.
It was like
to a couple of our sessions and videos that we used to do, and I noticed that we are talking about the same essence.
Yeah,
but I was noticing the energy of that time and the groups at that time. It was slightly still on the surface. It was not depths. There is no that much depths at that time, and I was listening and feeling like how I was eager to ask the people to make it deep, and there is no way from my consciousness at that time how can I make it deep, because it was not possible basically. And then when I went to a couple of sessions, lately 2018 and 19, when we start having the Christ heart and the seed of unity, you can immediately, if you tap the energy, see the huge depths, with the group and space and with us. I was like, wow, there is a huge opening here. We need to, we should tap into it. We should. Now is the time. Like now it's the real thing happening.
In witnessing that, it came to our mind like, we shall acknowledge you guys because you went through that evolution, and this is thanks to you that everything is opening up and being also embodied through your channels, through this the collective consciousness, through the lens, through the grid, through your cells, your body, like everything. And this is how far and how fast we are evolving, but we forgot to sometimes go back a little bit and acknowledge that for ourselves. So we are here to remind you that you are a rocket star. Talking about Rocket Star, there will be a session with Azil on the 19th. It's the last one because there were like a lot of demand, and between his trips in Middle East we are squeezing one session on the 19th, so it's going to be Urban Tribe. So if you feel like joining. It's going to be like obviously a big session, but when we are a lot, there is a huge vortex opening as well, and the energy is super powerful. So whenever you are, if you are free, join the 19th. And for the rest, just check online, there's a lot of things happening. So I'll let you have the surprise. In terms of energy updates, so one of the message that came repeatedly is there is a difference now, very palpable, very felt, about this 5D unity consciousness and the 3D separation duality consciousness. And whatever is being shared, whatever is being mentioned, it cannot be perceived by both parties the same way it used to be perceived or understood. So from a level of higher understanding or consciousness or being awakened in somehow, like understanding what is at play, it's our role to come to those people and talking on their level. It's not about us anymore, it's about them seeing the bigger picture. It's about them understanding what are their wants, what are their misperception of misalignment. And whatever we're going to speak about us, they won't get it because they're not at that frequency at all. It doesn't match, it cannot be perceived. And this has come a lot the last week.
So it's like we used to say timeline split. I remember all those days. It's becoming more obvious now.
More obvious,
more apparent.
In the first world reality as well.
Yes.
And one of the messages of this morning is our all core belief that we've been langing for eons of times, that is part of the universe somehow through the separation and the duality, is creation arises from conflicts. Like rebirthing and coming anew or evolving arises from conflicts. It shall have a conflict first. And the new way of understanding it, or the purity of understanding the source of creation, is from beauty and purity. So there is this full frequencies that is being shifted or transform and transmute it from that perspective. It's so deep in our cells and in our human or galactic self-consciousness. Because if you go back as above, so below, as above are the ones, ElyiahNour and so on and so forth, like whatnot. To gain elevation, to gain power, which is distorted, it shall come from conflict. And it's not happening anymore. It cannot be embedded in this evolution anymore. The power is within, and the power is the purity of the light, the purity of the source. So it comes from a place of beauty and grace only. Creation arises from that. So there's this shift happening here on the collective level and therefore individual level. So an invitation that I wanted to do a video today, but I didn't have time. On my face, but not for the video. So it was an invitation to witness in your life. It was actually a session this morning that everything came up. Witness all your relationship in your life. Invite yourself to observe and witness where are my relationship, from where my relationships are being created. What am I creating within that relationships? And all attachments from this shall be written on a paper, witnessing what is the core of co-creation with my family, with my sister, with my brother, with my parents, with my co-workers, with my friends, with my community. And where am I aiming to go? Are my virtues and core value being co-created in harmony there? And it's very interesting, because if not, it's all the attachments that create misalignment in relationships. Is it understandable what I'm saying?
I hope so.
Yeah?
So another angle into
but I didn't rehearse in my head, it was just coming up.
Another angle into it, I don't like to write usually, I don't do journaling. But I just received recently that if you write down what you think and you speak about your environment, about relationship, about what you think, like say for example, you're going to traffic, it will be traffic. If you write those thoughts or those emotions sometime and look at them like one day and look at them from different point of view. It's like, oof, I'm saying this and this and this all over again, here and there and here. You can witness it also on how you're judging other people, or how you limit yourself about what could happen. Like you limit the situation before it even happened because you have a preconception previously, right? Or pre-experience. And then if you witness that you're repeating them, that means this is what you're creating. And then it becomes so shocking to witness those limitations and those attachment and those judgment or prejudged ideas that it's being repeating and you are not noticing, and you catch them and stop them. So, why I'm repeating this in my head? Why it's so ingrained in my consciousness and somehow taken over on my reality, because it's a habit. Keep going. So that's why I felt when I received this, it was coming to me when I was still brainstorming about Unconditional Love project. Is one of the ways I found, like, how can I break this? So there is many tools, of course, hypnotherapy, healing, self-help, whatever. There is a lot. But was one of them will be so easy and so precise and can fit everywhere. And I was doing I love myself, I am love mantra. I was doing this mantra for like 3 hours. So I found online a girl, thanks for her, I'm going to send her a message. YouTube, she said, I am love, I love myself, and she repeated it. And she has a music with it. So I downloaded it, I removed a little bit of the music so I can hear the words more, and I put it there and I was like, love, I love myself, I am love, I am love. And I realized after like these 3 hours, I couldn't think of negativity or limitation. It's like I overpowered. And then I stopped basically, and I start observing differently. It becomes so easy for me to observe a completely different thought and catch myself going into those up and down. And my emotion or my reaction also toward the situation around me, it becomes so in peaceful state. Like something will show up in front of me and I will be like still peacefully looking at it, because I'm not anymore allowing that program to run. It was so good and I loved it. So of course everyone has maybe different approach, but that's what I found. I tried it, it was very good, I like it. But still, from your point of view, you can still witness there is always some background noise or programs running you're not aware of, and reinforcing limitation or attachment or judgment or prejudgment from the old experiences. And those are controlling most of the time your reaction toward life.
There is a great analogy for that. That is actually something that happened to 10 days ago. So, talking about programming running in the background, we booked roaming.
Roaming?
Roaming.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. This is super analogy, guys. Yeah.
We booked roaming.
So they went to Iran in the trip, and they wanted SIM with the data plan.
So we booked it.
So they bought roaming.
Which is a lot of roaming. And we were on hotspots on the phone.
You bought, I remember, 16 giga.
I don't know, whatever. I have no idea what does it mean.
Told me.
And in a day, it was gone. Like the entire data plan. So lucky us. We have IT men. Took out the phone and checked. But on the surface, nothing is running. But all the background updates and pictures and whatnot is still synchronizing. And it took 3 days to realize and to find out every single thing running in the background. It was unbelievable the amount of programs that an iPhone has, that when it thinks it's on internet, Wi-Fi, it's just running and running and running and running and running. The amount of applications that you have that we even are not aware that are still running. And it's exactly how we are being made. We have thousands of programs, probably maybe more, running in the background, creating a consuming of energy. Yeah.
So basically when the iPhone connects to hotspot, it thinks it's Wi-Fi. It doesn't think it's a data plan. Okay? So the iPhone will be boosting all the download because it's Wi-Fi, it's free. Where you are actually, it's not a Wi-Fi, it's a hotspot based on 3G or 4G basically. And so all the background refresh of Dropbox things will run and consume all the data plan. And on the surface you don't see anything because there is no application running. It's a background, they call it background refresh on the iPhone. And they consume all their data. So this is similar analogy, like sometimes we don't notice, if unless you write them down, you will not notice how many something on the background.
Thoughts and emotions and perceptions, and it's interesting, yeah? It's very interesting. So anyway, that was the analogy for understanding hundreds of things that we have in our head, in our body, running and consuming our capacity, our light, basically.
Alright.
Alright.
So what's today?
Today
we're going to expand the vortex to the highest possible because we have all the pillar of light in the room.
I would love to do one day, like a day where we just tune in the vortex and everyone does his own practice. So yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice, huh? So, no Mathilde and no George, no like talking. Alright. Any questions so far or sharings? No? Ready to rock and roll? Yeah. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Pleiades.
So I'm going to do a quick talk about the unconditional love quickly. So before we start the session, in the group, so we can concentrate on it and initiate it with more further.